did the Republicans get here? What the fuck happened to the Republicans? If you know a Republican, just give them a hug. Just, oh, it's okay, baby. I've never seen politics this low. I mean, you're talking about, each other's wives, and then we have to sit there and listen to them talk about the size of Donald Trump's hands. What the fuck? I mean, they are just like one step above doing your mama jokes. And I have never in my life watched a presidential debate and had the thought cross my mind, is he about to take out his dick? Girl, I thought he was gonna pull out his penis. Oh, sweet Jesus. Hi.
So, Wanda, how the fuck did you get here?
I know, right? That's a good question. I'm still trying to figure it out. Yeah, I mean, just look at where I started.
You worked for the NSA.
I worked for the NSA. I used to work for National Security Agency. Yeah, and now I'm here
the White House Correspondent
cursing.
Center.
Now I'm just, yeah. Now I'm on stage cursing. How did that happen?
I don't think your kids will be watching this, so let it rip.
Well, but I see, and then also I do things for the kids. The animated projects and all that I'm doing. So.
And you chop vegetables.
And I chop vegetables. Yes, I do.
This is an all-service lady right here. Like, this is full service. So let me just preface it by saying I watched a special, and we had a very famous person in earlier this week who was lamenting the lack of smart adult comedy out there. He said, mostly it's like dick and fart jokes. Mm. And it was so awesome to see your special because it dealt with parenthood and marriage and politics and society and racial identity and ass wiping.
Yeah, ass wiping, yes.
And I just love it. I love it so much.
Thank
so
you,
how did you put it together?
My comedy comes from, it has to be grounded in reality. So it's basically my life, and the comedians who I look up to, that's where their comedy came from, like, Richard Pryor and, George Carlin. So yeah, it's my family. It's basically, that's what takes the majority of my time. And also, yes, I am, politically, active and involved. So I like talking about that. And then I had some health issues, so I talk about that too. So yeah, it comes from real life.
So when you were putting this together, how long did it take you to compile the material and make it coherent? Because obviously, from start to, it really is a coherent 1 hour that has crescendos and just kind of waves.
Thank you. I would say probably about 2.5 years. Yeah, because I traveled, and toured for like the first year and a half. And then I said, you know what? I have the makings of a special. And then as soon as I got the framework, then it's like, okay, yeah, now I see where all these pieces, where they fit into this, into this puzzle. And now I get it. This is the show that I want to present. So yeah, it takes a while. It takes a while.
How do you know when a joke is hitting? When you're doing a stand-up act in a club somewhere?
Well, the laughter really is a big giveaway. When you hear them laugh.
You mean the kind of laughter, or?
Yeah, when you hear people laugh, you're like, hey, I'm on to something. But when they're not laughing, you're like, I got to take this one back to the shop. This one needs some work. And but the thing is, I love when you're on your way to a joke and the audience, they think they know the punchline. They think they think that they know where you're going, and all of a sudden you go this way, and they're like, oh man, that's the good laugh when they're like, oh, so that's the one you want. Yeah.
Which is your favorite bit from this special?
Ooh, my favorite bit from the special.
I'm sure that's like asking you which of your twins is your
I
favorite.
I know. I think the waking up in the middle of the night.
With your kids standing.
Yeah, with my kids. See, my twins, they're white. I have white twins, and I just say it took a while for me to get used to. Because when the little kids, they get up in the middle of the night and they run to your parents' bedroom, right? So it took me a while to get used to that, because I'm sleeping, and you wake up in the middle of the night, you just see two little white kids standing at the foot of your bed. You're like, what the hell? Yeah, exactly. It's like a horror movie, It's like and it's two of them, and they look real creepy, and they got that blonde hair, and the moonlight is just bouncing off their head, and it's like I can almost hear the music. It's like la 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 la. So it's creepy. It took me a while to get used to that. It took me a while. It's like, oh my God, these are my kids. Oh Jesus, I'm sorry. So,
Oh, hi.
sorry. Yeah.
How do you decide how much of your personal life to share?
That's a good question, because there was a couple bits that I was doing about my son that I decided not to leave in. I took it out because I was like, this is too much, and I don't want somebody, some freaky bastard out there thinking something nasty about my kids. So yeah, to me it's like, as long as as long as I know, like, when they get older, and if they can see it, that they won't feel hurt or betrayed or whatever, then that's pretty much my line.
Well, and I think also that you address pretty universal issues in parenting, especially
Right.
of anyone who has a boy.
Right,
That's
yes. Yes.
That's
Yeah.
the wiping.
Yeah.
That can be a
I
whole
don't know
separate
what-
5-hour special.
And let's not stop at just boy. It seems like as they get older, men just don't wipe their ass good. I don't know what the problem is, what goes on down there, but yeah.
Has he gotten better?
Yes, he's gotten better. He's gotten better. But I mean, it's I feel sorry for my dogs, because I kept giving them baths. I thought it was the dogs. I was like, what the hell?
Wait, can I just tell you my favorite part, aside
Yes.
from the wiping?
Okay.
Hillbillies and snakes.
Oh, yes. The two things I'm terrified of, hillbillies and snakes. And my biggest fear is if I ever ran across a hillbilly with a sack of snakes. That would be the end of me. I would just like lose it.
How do you write your material? Meaning, do you just you walk around with your phone and you kind of like take verbal notes whenever you see something, or is it just you sit down and have a concerted amount of time in which you write?
That's just it. I can't make myself write. It's hard to go, okay, today I'm going to, between 12 and 3, I'm going to sit down and write. No, it's just kind of like organic. It just happens. If I think of a bit, like, oh my God, that's funny, and I'll write down just the gist of it, either on my phone, or I'll write it on a piece of paper. And then eventually just build from that.
Do you run everything past your wife first?
Oh no.
I thought you were going to say, oh yes.
I don't run everything past her. No. But she she's seen the show. She's been to several shows. She knew what I was working on, and now she enjoys it. Like
'Cause it's funny.
yeah, that, and I think she likes that I'm out talking about her. Like, if I weren't talking about her, then she was like, hey, what's going on? Why aren't you talking about being married and having a wife? So if I'm out doing the show, when I get home, she'll, I'll call her, whatever, say goodnight. And she's like, so, how did I do tonight? And I'm like, what do you mean? My jokes. I said, oh, they're your jokes now. Oh, you killed, baby. You did good. Oh, I like when I do good. Yes, honey.
She's
You
French,
were
by the
very
way.
funny.
Her wife is French.
My
That's
wife is
why.
French. I know. You probably looked at me like, where the hell is she coming up with this?
So when you were working at the NSA, do you remember the first stand-up act you saw, live stand-up act, where you were like, I want to do this?
You know, I had never been to a like a live stand-up performance. The first time I saw someone, doing stand-up was when I went there to do stand-up. That was the first time. And I think that's why I was successful the first time, because I had no idea what I was getting into. I couldn't be nervous because I didn't know how awful it could go. I didn't know what it felt like to bomb. So I just went out there and, told my little generic jokes, and people laughed. And I was like, yeah, this is it. This is what I want to do. Yeah, and all the other comics, they were like, who are you, and where'd you come from? We never seen you at the comedy clubs or anything. And I was like, oh, that was my first time. And they were all kind of like, yeah. It was like, oh, yeah, wait till your second, third time, and then see how good you feel. Yeah.
But it went pretty well for you.
It did,
look where
until,
you are
like I
now.
said, then once, yeah, I had a good show the first time. And then when I actually went out to the comedy clubs, because the guy who was emceeing that night, Andy Evans, he's a local DC comic, he, just like kind of like took me under his wing and showed me all the comedy clubs. And that's when, I was like, oh, this is what being a comedian is like. This, oh, God, oh, this can go horribly wrong, And several nights it did, but I, loved it, and I knew it's what I wanted to do. So it didn't deter me from, going back up on stage.
And let's just sum up the past few years. You headlined the White House Correspondents' Dinner in 2006.
It was his first one. So,
Yeah.
so that was 2009, right?
8 or 9, yeah.
2009. He was elected in 08. I mean, yeah. So 9 was in May. Yeah.
Are you like BFFs with him now?
Oh, well, those Obamas, I tell you.
I know. I mean, I'm having dinner with him
Meet
tonight.
me in
so
Hawaii. Meet me here. No. Michelle, you like this dress? Yes, Michelle. That's great.
You were just texting with her backstage.
I was just texting with her. I wished. I would so want to be best friends with them. But yeah, they were so sweet and just charming and very generous when I met them at the White House, and I'm gonna miss them, really.
I think we all are.
We are gonna miss them. Yeah.
Now, you also played the therapist in Bad Moms, which I am shocked that you haven't seen because it's one of the funniest movies of this year.
I heard. I just haven't had a chance to to check it out, but that's on my list. I have a long to-do list.
Well, with kids, good
Yeah.
luck.
Yeah.
And tell me about the movie you just finished with Amy Schumer and
Yeah.
Goldie Hawn.
Yeah, and Joan Cusack. I don't know if they have a title for it yet.
They haven't. I think
It
it's like the
doesn't-
Amy
it's-
Schumer
it's
Goldie
still
Hawn
Hawn
mother-daughter project. I'm like, that's a good title. You should go with that.
All right. And we shot in Hawaii, and that was like incredible to be in Hawaii. And I was like, I'm here, and I'm actually like in paradise working. This is crazy. Amy's great. Goldie Hawn. It was just so cool to see her just back doing it. And she didn't miss a beat. She was so much fun. And I got to work with Joan Cusack because Joan and I were traveling partners, and we meet Amy and Goldie we're all staying at the same resort, and then crazy shit happens.
As it does.
Yes.
When you and Amy are together, do you just riff off each other? You have like normal conversations like normal people?
No, we can have normal conversations like normal people. But Amy, the energy, that girl has so much energy, It's like in between takes when, they're changing turning the cameras around, the lighting or whatever. I'm looking forward just to sit down, And she's like, come on, let's go shoot a music video. I'm like, what the hell? Can't we just sit? What's wrong with just sitting, But, yeah, she's great, though. Yeah.
Well, and I want to go back to your special for a second before we go to the audience. I love the note that you finished it on. How the fuck did we get here?
Progress. Yeah.
Talk to me about what that means to you.
Well, I just thought about it. It's like, here I am, and, openly gay, lesbian, whatever, African American, and I'm legally married in all 50 states, and I am a parent. I can my kids, and it's like how did this happen? And I'm like, well, it's progress. That's what happened. That's how we got here. It's we've made some big strides in this country, and it is progress, and I'm not trying to go backwards. Yeah. Yeah.
You think you have another special in you soon?
What was that?
Do you have another special in you soon?
No. Once you put out one special, it's like giving birth. You gotta wait. You gotta wait a minute.
But look, the
Let
Duggars
stuff
have like,
heal up.
you could be like the Duggars. Don't they have like 18 kids or something?
Oh, good Lord, no. I probably have like 2 eggs left.
But seriously, like, do you see yourself
Yeah.
doing another one?
I mean, eventually, yeah. Eventually.
Have enough material.
Once I have enough material, yeah. We'll see.
And when you're on a stage that big, with that big of an audience, do you get nervous?
I'm nervous until I get the first big laugh.
Okay.
Yeah, you're always just anxious, but as soon as I get the first big laugh, which has to happen within that first like 30, 40 seconds, and then I'm like, okay, all right, you're good people. We're here. Let's do it.
We're gonna win this one.
Let's do it. Let's have some fun. Yeah.
And now to our audience, please.
All right, cool.
Hey, how you doing, Wanda?
All right, how you doing?
The other day I read a article you did, and you was talking about how tough it is being a comedian these days, because like you can put your blood, sweat, and tears, doing a stand-up, and like the next day it'll be like on YouTube or on the internet and stuff like that. And I wanted to know like how frustrating it is for you to have to like scramble to think of new material like a day or two before you got another gig or something like that due to the internet and stuff like that. Because I know it could be stressful and annoying. Mm-hmm. So I just wanted to know your take on that.
Thank you. That it is frustrating because, it's a process. What we what we do, it's a process. So when I'm on stage and I'm telling the joke might not be ready yet it's not being presented the way that I had intended for it to be presented. So it's like going in and stealing like somebody's art when it's not ready. It's like if Picasso was painting and you snuck up behind him and he's like, I got it. It's like, hey, that wasn't even right. I haven't even like twisted the face yet, man. What you doing? So that's what it feels like. And what happens is it gets in a comic's head. So now I can't even give you just be, authentic and uncensored and just try it out. Because, I mean, that's where, I think like good comedy comes from, is being able to trust the audience that they'll let you just go anywhere, let you explore and try stuff. And, you'll let us know if it's working or not. But if that bond is broken where now I don't know about you, mother. Let me see. I don't know if I can. No, I'm not gonna say that because that's okay. I'm not even gonna say that now because I see this one's over there. So now we're censoring ourselves, so you don't even get the full depth of what we're trying to do. So it's all that has really I think taken a lot of the joy out of it, and also I think it hurts the finished product.
Do you ever tell people put away your phones, or is it just pointless?
I do, but it's we have announcements, but I want to be on stage, and I just want to make them laugh. I don't want to be the school teacher and put your books away. I don't want to do that. And it hurts the rhythm. But now what's happening, and I know Chappelle, he was probably one of the first ones to start doing this. There's these bags, And have y'all been to a show like that where they tell you to put your phone in a bag? They give you a bag and you put your phone in a bag and it locks. And so we're starting to do that now.
Yeah, because otherwise it's like you're workshopping a joke, but you can't do it.
Right, exactly.
Next question, please.
Hi, Wanda.
Hi.
As a future entertainer, I'm really personally curious about what aspects of the entertainment industry you enjoy the most and what aspects of it you kind of distance yourself from / don't like that much.
What do I enjoy? I love this. I love, doing, stand up is my first love. I enjoy that. And, being successful stand up, that has afforded me opportunities to, film and TV, which I enjoy that too, because now I'm working with other people. I love working with the cast. The things that I don't, and I shouldn't say don't enjoy, because I'm fortunate to be able to have those opportunities. But I'm very picky, I should say, or about endorsements. So if I'm going to do an ad or a promotion or something like that, it has to be with a company or a product that I'm like, okay, I can roll with this. I see where where they're going. Yeah, but then I still have to take a shower afterwards. No, like, ooh, but the check was so good.
It's so pretty.
Yeah.
Next question, please.
Hey, Juan. Oh.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing? I have
Great.
like 2-in-1 question, I think.
Okay.
Can I get away with that? First question is, when going to mics, open mics, how do you choose your open mics to practice on your work? And 2, with this political correctness thing going on, how do you express yourself without offending individuals?
Okay. For open mic, you just remember that you have a short amount of time. You get like 5 minutes maybe. Yeah, right. So have a plan. Don't get up there and just go, and wing it. I mean, that's valuable time. So have your set mapped out, and a good way to help the audience with your set is to try to make it somewhat thematic, or like if you're gonna talk, if you're talking about your family, okay, just tie it together. Make sure you're just not jumping all over the place, because then the audience is like, wait a minute, what he just was talking about steak, and now he's talking he's a vegetarian. What the hell, just try to just so that way they walk away feeling like they know a little bit more about you. And the other question.
Political correctness.
Here's the thing with political correctness. To me, it's not really being politically correct. It's just being correct. It's like when people say, "Oh, you're so politically correct," it's like, no, that's just what you're supposed to say. Jackass, what's wrong with you? That's it. It's just being correct. So I don't. Yeah. So I don't buy into that. I'm not a mean-spirited person. So yeah, I don't really have issues with it.
And last question over here, please.
Hey, Wanda, really nice to have you here.
Well,
you were
thank
one of the
you.
first comedians I was ever introduced to as a kid. My dad would be just so happy about this.
Cool.
So, we're talking about political correctness, and Amy Schumer's name was also brought up recently. I know she played a show down in Florida and had 200 people leave because they disagreed with her political views. For you as a performer and stand-up comedian, how would you deal with a crowd like that? And would you still perform in a state that is so drastically leaning a certain way where people can't really express how they feel with that kind of backlash going on?
Well, I've performed, all over the country, and I've had people, Trump supporters, walk out on my show. But it always cracks me up when they boo about, or they you know, tell me to move on. Like, come on, that's enough. Come on. And because it's just, first of all, I'm like, I'm a black gay woman. What the hell are you doing here in the first place? It's just so like typical Trump people. It really, it's just like typical Trump. It's like, here you are again. Just wrong. Just wrong place, wrong, can they get anything right? You know? It's like, why would I go to a Trump rally and be like, hey, I don't like all this bad mouthing of Hillary. What is this? You know, it's just, I like Mexicans. What's wrong with you people? This is awful. I'm out of here. It's like, what the hell are you doing there in the first place? You know? So it always cracks me up. It just the arrogance that they think they could come to my show and tell me what to say. I'm like, get the fuck out of here, man. What is wrong with y'all? What is wrong with you?
And go to Mexico, except there will be a wall there.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And when can we see this?
This airs Friday, October 21st on EPIX. EPIX.
And
yes.
If you guys want to see how a perfect show from start to finish is put together, watch.
And also, if you don't have EPIX, if you're a cable carrier, if they don't provide EPIX, because I know I have DirecTV and I have Comcast and no EPIX. However, you can go online to epix.com and sign up for a free trial, and you'll be able to stream it like that. So check it out, please. Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Thanks.